Mike Bohn joined now by Chris Curtis, who returns to action. First UFC card of the year on Saturday against Roman Kopylov. Chris, I know you love to be active. You love to fight. I'm sure this break hasn't been your favorite thing, but how excited are you to be a couple days away now?
Oh, it's the worst part about fighting is this week of waiting, but I can't wait to fight again, man. I don't like being this inactive. Coming off of an injury, so it's really nice to be like, okay, like I'm so close to being back. Like I can't wait. Like so, that's very exciting.
Yeah, was this like your ideal timeline? Do you think you could have come back sooner? Did your recovery go better than expected? How would you describe that part of it?
The hamstring went great. Actually, I healed way faster than expected. One of my biggest things, one of my biggest like saving graces, I heal very, very fast. Like I'm a very hard person to hurt, and I heal very quickly. So the hamstring recovered way faster than I thought I was going to. That was great. Only that I immediately then broke my foot, so which can't took me out of the
Oh
Kevin
wow.
Holland fight. But so now we're back. So okay, so now we're finally ready to go. So I'm very excited. I'm just grateful that I still heal really fast.
Yeah, was that on the same leg as the hamstring or the other one?
No, it was opposite foot. Yeah, so I
Okay.
just like it's been a weird year, man.
Yeah. Is it hard? Obviously, the lower body is very significant to what you guys do. Is that like something you had to build back up, or did you kind of what was
so
that process?
it did require because like I think I lost like a piece of the hamstring, it's just kind of gone. So it did require a lot of like physical therapy and like in strength work to rebuild. But I'm really lucky, man. Like best part of being a UFC fighter is the access you have, the UFC PI staff, the physical therapists like really helped me rehab like and just kind of get back to being able to move comfortably. And then Gavin Pratt and the strength and conditioning team put me through the ringer for
Mm.
months, man. But like, you know, we rebuilt my strength, we rebuilt everything. Uh, it's great because I haven't actually thought about my hamstring in like probably 2 months.
Mm.
Like I haven't even considered, you know, it's like 2 months since I even felt anything, thought about it. And you for recovery, it's great when you stop thinking about the old injury. Like I haven't had to worry about it. It feels wonderful. So that they really put me through the ringer, put a lot of work in, but super grateful for that because I feel great.
Yeah, that's awesome. And during this Christmas break, Chris, I think it was very boring. Everyone's waiting for fights to happen. I think you gave some spice in our life, right? Like over some headlines to the media and the fans and stuff.
Yeah, man, I thought Kopylov of evil Russian giant Chase Hooper.
Yeah.
He's just actually giant Russian Chase Hooper. He's not actually evil. So you know what? I very few times that I admit that was wrong, but I admit that was wrong. Like, but in my defense, there's like a lot of random things happening behind the scenes that came together in a very weird way that made this look very suspicious. But
Okay.
turns out Kopylov's actually a really good dude. He's a really nice guy, and it's just we've talked about it, hashed it out, so everything's good.
Yeah, and he spent time in Vegas before, right? Like, have you ever trained with him or crossed paths with him in that sense?
No, he's always fighting people from my team, so usually at my old gym syndicate. So, but now we run into each other at the PI. He's a nice dude. Doesn't speak any English, but thankfully Umar and Magomedov translates for us. But no, he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. He's a nice guy. So kind of hash it out, but he seems pretty cool. I like him.
Yeah, and I mean we've seen his growth in the UFC too, right? Like I think there's still maybe some holes on the ground, but his striking, is very impressive. When you look at him, like, do you feel like the plan A has to at least see if he's being improved in those areas, or is this a guy you want to go in there and bang with?
My goal is always to go in there and fight people with hands. Like that's always going to be my goal. It's where I'm most comfortable. It's where I feel like I shine the most. He is a very good striker. He definitely, but I've fought and beat very good strikers before. So he's definitely tricky, and that presents unique problems. But I mean, I've been solving problems for what, like 15 years now, 16 years now in my career. It's just one more problem to solve.
Yeah, absolutely. The other headline that I saw, and this one is kind of ridiculous. It's fun, bloody elbow, but this is one that popped up. It says, Sean Strickland shares Christmas reunion with former best friend after bitter public fallout. That was the Christmas Day photo that popped up of you guys training.
There's a
What do you
reason
what do
why
you make of
Bloody
that?
Elbow died. There's a reason that Bloody Elbow died, and they just, God damn it, I hate Bloody Elbow. Sorry, it's like I really don't get Bloody Elbow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's just they put the weirdest shit out there. Like no, and like we've like I've never left the gym. We've never like we fight. Me and Sean and I fight a lot. When you know somebody that long, you're gonna have some friction, and especially when you know somebody that long, you know how to get under each other's skin. And like we have had words, we have had fist fights. on multiple occasions. It is what it is. It's always going to be that way. It's just we're very different personalities and we're very different beliefs and I guess boundaries. And we both cross those boundaries a lot more than most people. So it's going to happen. It's just a part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, good friends fight. This happens all the time. If you've had a good friendship in your life, it's
Yeah.
probably happened to you. So,
Yeah, there are just times you gotta take a step away, like give it time to breathe, and let everybody come to their own thing, and it's fine. Like it won't. It's not the first time it's happened. It won't be the last time it's happened. I'm sure.
yeah, but I know, like, kind of when that stuff was coming out, you had talked about kind of your growth as a person, family man, these type of things. Do you still feel like that's the difference in your life, maybe since the last time we've seen you fight?
Not because I think even last time I fought, I was, I was on that path. It's
Mhm.
weird because I'm just it's nothing so much has changed. So I'm more learning to balance like those different parts, those different aspects of like who I have to be. So I've always said that in my head, I have the Batman effect. Like people read Batman's mind, and they're like Batman refers to himself as Batman. I am Batman. Bruce Wayne is the alter ego. In my head, I refer to myself as Chris the Fighter. Like the action man is like who I am. I'm the fighter. Like the other parts of me outside of fighting are like the mask you have to wear. But now, and when I have an older son, and I didn't really understand how negative that was and how much like the effects of that from my oldest son. But now being a little bit older, being a different part in life, and then seeing that, you kind of understand now that I have to balance being Chris the fighter, Chris the father, Chris the person. So that's all it is. I'm just working on that home life, that work life balance, to where I'm learning to leave the gym at the gym, and once I leave those walls, I have to be somebody else. I can't I'm always going to obsess about fighting and training, but I have to learn to bring it back because there are other parts in my life now that are important. And plus, the way I obsess about fighting isn't healthy. Like it's not healthy. Like Forrest Griffin tells me this all the time. Like Forrest Griffin tells you all the time. He's like, I worry about you when you retire. Like what are you gonna do? So I think for my own well being, it's good to kind of like learn to be someone else sometimes instead of just Chris the fighter.
Yeah, well, your previous retirements are rather infamous in the sport too, right? So I guess, do you feel like this is preparing you for when that eventuality comes again, that you will be, I guess, more equipped to deal with all that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big part of it is learning to have a life outside of fighting because for a very long time it's all I knew, man. Like you want to walk away every time anyone's like I had this talk with Angela Hill and Jessica Pena. Like when you walk away, you mean it. Like the think about did you watch the Tyson Fury fight?
Yes, of
Think
course.
about what he said with what he said after the fight. And he's like, I've retired before and I meant it. I meant it every time. But fighting's the most addictive thing you can do once you get good at it. Like once
Mhm.
you have success in fighting, it's so addictive to just walk away because it becomes what you know. It becomes how you get your validation. It becomes, like your obsession, your single, point of obsession. Tyson Fury had a great point, man. People don't realize that like when fighters retire, they mean it, but it's fucking hard to like. What do you do when it's gone? It's
Yeah.
all you know. So I think a big part of it is really learning to like maybe it's okay to be something else. It's
Yeah.
okay to have interests somewhere else.
Yep. I think every fighter in the sport should listen to those words because those are powerful and I think
It,
resonate.
it, it's a big one. He said what we're all thinking, but we're all kind of afraid to talk about.
Yeah, for sure, man. No, I appreciate you giving that comment. How do you think Sean does in a couple weeks against Dricus? How's he looking in the gym? How do you think this fight goes compared to the first one?
It's good, man. I think. So has Dricus had a rematch yet in
Not in the
his
UFC.
UFC career? Yeah.
No.
So in the UFC, yeah. So his only one outside the UFC career was Solidek, right? He fought
Yeah,
what's his
Roberto
name? RoboCop?
Soldic.
Yeah, yeah,
Soldic.
and he Solidek knocked him out.
Yeah.
So I think Dricus is one of those guys. Like it's so hard to quantify Dricus, right? Because I say like fighting Dricus is like fighting a coked out chimpanzee in a phone booth. Like you're just like, what's happening? But I think it's very overwhelming and surprising for guys because you're just like, what? Like, who fights like this? What are you doing? And the dude's just out of his mind, like trying to win, and I respect that. But I feel like stylistically, after that, like in the second fight, when you kind of know what to expect and you understand that he's dancing to his own song. I wonder how that goes
Mhm.
because his only rematch is one with Solid he lost. Yeah, it's years ago. I kind of think it's kind of telling to where once guys figure that out and you learn to be more, you learn what to look for. I
If you
think
were
it
to
becomes a different fight.
Yeah. If
So
you were to
we'll
play
see.
devil
We'll see. Mm.
Yeah, if you were to play devil's advocate, though, could you say the same thing about fighting Sean Strickland, right? Like his unique approach,
Yeah,
the first time
no,
experienced that?
exactly the same thing. To where when you're fighting Sean, I think a lot of people don't realize just how awkward and how awkward he is in the range he fights at to battle that pressure. So I think doing it again, like it's something you can prepare for, something you can start to develop answers for. So now the question becomes, who has the better counter to the counter? And then we go down that weird game of like, I know that you know that I know that you know. So like, yeah. So once again, like this is gonna be such a weird fight. It's gonna be coked out chimpanzees in a phone booth, and I want to see it. I believe in Sean. I think he's one of the hardest working dudes I've ever met. Like one of the most driven dudes I've ever met. So I'm very. I think he can do it. I'm pulling for him. But at the end of the day, I just kind of want to see this happen because it's just real. It's a honestly it's the most high level circus fight you'll ever see.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. A little over a month away. Last thing before I let you go, Chris, is the hope that you win on Saturday, Kevin Holland wins next weekend, and we put this back together? Or do you not care that much about that particular matchup?
I don't care about any particular matchup. Like I am just here doing things. Uh, I like Kevin. I'm always hoping he wins. Like I'm a Kevin Holland fan. I think he's a funny dude. I'm always hoping he wins. So if they put it back together, fine. If not, whatever. I'm just here to fight people. I don't usually say no unless your name's Alex Pereira, and then I definitely said no. But outside of that, I'm just here to fight people. So whatever comes up, comes up. I just
Did
want to
they
have
offer?
fun fights. I want to. We said.
No, I was gonna say, did they offer you Alex Pereira at one point in each
Oh, they
division, or
offered
are
me
you
that
just
fight
joking?
before Bruno Silva. When the Bruno Silva fight,
Okay.
who's it? What? Oh, is it the Sean? Oh, actually, maybe that's the one Sean took. I don't know. They offered it to us, and I was like, "Fuck no! I'm not fighting him on like what I." What short notice? It was like it's kind of short notice. I was like, "There's no way," because not only do I not want to fight him, I'm not looking on short notice. Because I met him in New York at Madison Square Garden, and we're in the elevator, and I'm like, "What size are you?"
Yeah.
And like the sheer like he's people who don't know Alex Pereira don't realize how big this man is in real life. Like it is distressing how
Yeah.
large this dude is. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have an answer for this, so I'm just gonna say no. I'm cool.
Yep.
I say yes
Uh,
to everything else. I'm gonna cash that goodwill in and say fuck no here.
and apparently they haven't held it against you, so that's
No,
all good.
dude. I say yes to every fight but that one. I was like, I do not have a path to victory here. I'm fine.
That's hilarious. One last thing before I let you go. What do you do on fight day? Like this week, do you sleep in your own bed on Friday, then just like drive there in the morning on Saturday? How does
Yeah,
that go?
I'm 10 minutes from the PI. I'll sleep in my own bed. I'll wake up. I have some pancakes, hang out all day, and then we'll drive to the arena. It's very surreal because I
Yeah.
spent my entire career in hotel rooms, like in somebody else's hometown. No, I sleep in my own bed. Drive 10 minutes away. I drive past the Apex every day,
Yeah.
every single day. So my day doesn't really change until we get into the arena. It's very strange, but it's kind of cool,
Yeah, that is cool. What a time to be alive. All right, Chris,
right?
glad to see you back, happy and healthy and everything. Happy New Year, and can't wait for this on Saturday, man.
I appreciate it, man. Happy New Year, and I will see you guys on Saturday.